Hey there, I'm Martin, and I'm excited to show you how Typst 13 increases the speed, flexibility, and customization you can have in your projects. Let's dive in. Let's start with the outline. This is what Typst used to output when using the outline function. It does its job, but there are two things that could be improved. For example, the section numbers don't align. Let's take a look at the new outline format in Typst 13 instead. It's more spacious and everything aligns nicely. Neat! You can also customize more of the outline. For example, disable these dots called leaders for individual entries. Okay, so that's the outline, but what about paragraphs? Let's scroll down a bit to see what's new. You can see here that the first lines are indented, except for the first paragraph. This is the norm in many languages, such as English. However, this document is written in Turkish, where the convention is to indent all of the first lines. So far, that wasn't possible, but with Typst 13, we're adding this highly anticipated feature. Just change your first line indent set rule to dictionary with all true, and you're set. Behind the scenes, that's made possible because Typst can now differentiate between what text forms a true paragraph and what text semantically is just inline content, like a caption. That's an important step to allow Typst to make its output more accessible to users with low vision in the future. And all of this work is also part of the endeavor to make Typst a great tool for writers everywhere, no matter what language you speak. Flexibility is one of the leitmotifs of this update. We are constantly trying to push the boundary of what's possible for package authors so that we can get you the best possible automations on Typst Universe. To start with, each function that previously accepted a file will now accept byte data as well. This means that packages can more flexibly provide data for you. With images, we are going even further. So far, images in Typst have to be encoded in JPEGs, PNGs, and GIFs. You might know that all of these formats are compressed image formats, which, if you think about it, is a good idea. At a pixel of a color image, that's really 3 numbers, each from 0 to 255, each color representing how bright the red, green, and blue shines. But the images we take have millions of pixels. If you take a look at the huge images we're taking, for just 12 megapixels, you would need 36 megabytes if you did not compress it at all. So everything is good. We're using compressed image formats and we're saving bandwidth. Well, not entirely. Because what if a package wants to generate an image, for example, a contour chart? Then they'll have to compress the image themselves. That makes the package harder to write and slows down compilation. And depending on which image format they choose, you could even lose quality there. So instead, what we can now do is directly pass the uncompressed image data from the package to Typst, and Typst will compress the image, along with all the other images, only when it exports to PDF. This makes packages easier to write and speeds up compilation. There's another major improvement in Typst 13 that you might have noticed right away. WebAssembly modules can now run on all cores of your processor, making them run faster. For example, let's take a look at a project running eCharms to generate plots. So far, Typst would run each chart, one after another, on a single core of your processor, sequentially in a big queue. But what we can do instead is, since your processor has multiple cores, run multiple charts, one on each core at the same time. So this means if you have a 4-core CPU, your document will almost be 4 times as fast to compile. What can I say? We just like speed. We've got just one more thing before we end. Until now, I'm sure you've used Typst to generate a lot of beautiful print documents. But then again, I'm sure that a lot of your readers are on computers, maybe even phones. A promise we have made with Typst is that it is easy to reach your readers no matter where they are. This is why Typst 13 ships with a sneak preview for HTML export. HTML export allows you to generate a website from the same Typst source code you have used to generate your PDFs. And sure, the HTML export feature is experimental. It may contain bugs and be incomplete, and you will need to go through the command line to try it out. And that's a wrap. As always, you can use Typst.13 in the web app right now, or download it from GitHub, or from the package manager of your choice. If you see errors in your documents, be sure that you have updated all of the packages you are using. And with that, all that's left for me to say is happy typesting.